So, teaching is tough, and the byproduct of the $1,000 stipend incentive in Texas is that people who don't have difficulty with parents or discipline or structure or any number of peculiar assets that a teacher is required to be good at their job are incentivized to leave the classroom. And I suppose that's okay in some ways, but that's not who I want evaluating teachers, certainly, because and there certainly ought to be some criteria by which their teaching evaluation should be pertinent to the role they play as an educational evaluator, because it's not reasonable the way it is. So what happens? Well, the byproduct of having a glut of administrators that don't actually actively participate in teaching children is that they have to find ways to justify their position if they're hired. Now, I don't know, I'm sure there's not adequate oversight in this regard, and I'm sure that Texas has a ridiculous percentage of administrators versus teachers relative to other states that have the other pay scale dynamic in play. So, to my eye, you've got lots of administrators. And when you drive by the central office in a small town, you could see 200 cars in the parking lot. You got to wonder what that's all about. When I was growing up, there was a school of about 700 or 800 elementary kids. We had one principal. Same thing at the high school. Now the standard is 3. You get a principal, an assistant principal, and a facilitator. So you got lots and lots of these people, and because we live in a place where social economics is a big part of society, and there's poor people more so than many parts of the country, there is a propensity to also, hire your brother, sister's cousin's uncle or something. Pardon me. Okay, so how this manifests itself in ways that are disturbing are twofold in my eye. One thing that I personally observed is that, unlike my colleagues in Illinois who worked for 30 years in the same grade and honed their craft until they were better all the time, there's lots of teachers, since K through 5 is an elementary degree, that they have curriculum in excess of 4 to 5 times as much curriculum as the people that live in other states that have the other system. And these people are, because if you're like, let's say you're a kindergarten teacher, and you have administrators in the central office that have to find behaviors to justify their positions. Well, they're looking for problems and things that they can do with their time. And one of them is, if this teacher's a kindergarten, I think this person would be better teaching second grade. So they got these teachers at the elementary level that don't always know what grade they're going to be in, and they never, some schools they stay in the same grade, but many schools they jump around all the time. That's not because the teachers are inadequate or inefficient or bad at their job. That's because somebody higher up has to find a reason to be higher up and justify their position. It's a bit of a shell game. But the byproduct of that is South Texas teachers in many cases have inventory that quadruples the kind of investment that up north teachers do, because since they don't know what elementary grade they're going to be in, they've got this, I can speak from personal experience, man, the amount of curriculum and books and support stuff that we have down here relative to when I lived up north is incredible. It's not fair. It's inappropriate behavior, and it's not fair to those teachers to have to spend that kind of money not knowing that, based on the whim of somebody who thinks they know better, who used to be a teacher and isn't a teacher. No.